What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I'm Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into it today. One of the first things I saw today was Pete Hegseth. What's up, Woke Mike? And it was an interview he had. I guess it might have been on the weekend. I'm not 100% sure. I just saw it today. Could have been earlier today, but so he has this little interview, and in this interview he does two things. One is he kind of backs off about telling us he's going to give up the tape, and another one he kind of goes into an explanation how things go. But I haven't seen the news really kind of like step in on what he actually was saying. You know, it's kind of like we'll read in between the lines here in a second. Let's first listen to what he said. The first video.
Now, after Admiral Bradley's meetings on Capitol Hill with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, President Trump said he would have no problem if the full video of the strike is released. When can we see that video? When will you release it?
We're reviewing it right now to make sure sources, methods. I mean, it's an ongoing operation, TTPs. We've got operators out there doing this right now. So whatever we were to decide to release, we'd have to be very responsible about. So we're reviewing that right now.
Now, after Admiral Bradley's meetings on Capitol Hill with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, President Trump said he would have no problem if the full video of the strike is released. When can we see that?
It's starting to repeat itself for some reason. But anyway, here's the thing. He just mentioned that he has the video, but they're going to review it. It's been since September when it started. We're in December. What do you need to review? You've already reviewed enough to put the video out. The video shows exactly how you bombed them to some degree. You don't know what bomb hit them or whatever. But this other one where you saw them there, you've been there for 40 minutes, all they saw was another bomb coming at them. So what do you need to review? This group of buffoons are trying their best to protect themselves. And I don't quite understand. I mean, you can understand that they're crooked, because there's no way in hell that you can tell me that you need to review something in all these technical ideologies or what we need to review it for. What you need to review it for? You already reviewed before you release the first video. All they're asking for is the second video. You use some special weaponry to do that? No. You did the exact same thing. You waited 40-something minutes, saw them wailing around, and then unalived two people that were shipwrecked, which tells you it's against the law for what you guys do. But here's the thing. We all know we're not stupid. We all know that if it went down the way that we've heard it, it's illegal. Most of them should be going to jail at some point, or at least going through the court system, the government, the military system. Pete Hegseth should be fired and also prosecuted for what he did. But that's if everything falls in line with what he said. Remember what Pete Hegseth said. First of all, they lied and said there wasn't a second shooting. There wasn't a second bombing. They said it never happened, right? Somehow it got leaked that it did. All this information came out. All of a sudden, it did happen. Okay? Now that we know that it did happen, they're trying to tell us on how it happened, right? Donald Trump acted like he knew nothing about it. Well, what did we find out? That Donald Trump wanted to do this exact same thing in his first presidency, and under that military leadership, they said, hell no, we will not go. That's illegal. We will not do it. Stephen Miller asked one of their people that worked in Homeland Security, he asked him, what would happen if Donald Trump decided, to bomb these particular boats and stuff like that? And the guy said it's illegal, can't do it. So in 2018, Stephen Miller and Donald Trump knew that this was illegal. and now they're doing it, and it's not illegal. They had to have known it was. It's just the fact that getting rid of Project 2025, getting rid of all the people that would tell them no, and putting in sycophants that would say yes, it would become legal because nobody's there to prosecute them and they don't pay attention to judges. This is what American citizens, MAGA, have put into office. A bunch of rogue people. How in the world do they not see this? The ones who are coming awake now, how did you not see that you was putting this tyrant in office and that he's going to make your life a living hell too? Economics is crazy right now. And these fools are out here on Sunday news. Scott Bessent was on one of the Sunday news shows just saying, what we're not going to do is tell people how they feel. But we have a 1% increase in income. And I'm like, whoop-de-fucking-do. You got a 13% increase on food, on meat, on beef, like a 15, 18% increase on that. What the fuck is 1% more money going to be doing when you got 18% of shit going up? I mean, this dude must think people are just absolutely just stupid. Like everybody. And then he goes, what we're not going to do is tell people how they feel. What you just did. They have no idea how to work this economy. They are thinking through rich prisms. They're thinking about how much money they can make. They're not realizing that anybody that's not a millionaire is not benefiting from this shit. They're making hand over fist. It is a wonderful life for them. Money is coming in like all over the place in droves for them. Farmers are going crazy, losing shit. Small business people are closing down. Mid-sized businesses are firing people. Large businesses are getting rid of people, putting in AI. Shit is going bananas. And these people are trying to tell people, you ain't feeling that. So it's a hoax. You know what's a hoax? Donald Trump. He's a hoax. Everything about him's a hoax. His entire crew, they're hoaxes because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They have no freaking clue. I don't care if they do know how to manage money for themselves. They don't know how to manage a country. None whatsoever. It's not the same. Our government is not in business to make money. Our government is to be able to manage the money we give to them. They're not for sale. At least they shouldn't be. And Donald Trump, these idiots wanted a business person in our country to run our country. And guess what? You got one. A greedy son of a bitch. That's what you got. And what is he doing? Destroying us like he destroyed all those damn casinos. And you don't recognize it. Even though you're losing your farms and cattle ranches and having to lose your home, people barely eating. Took away millions of people's SNAP just because they wanted to get rid of your health care. I mean, how much do you need to get beaten down to realize that you're a simp? These MAGA people are simps. How are you going to sit there and get beat up and keep asking for another? Just because you hate liberals. Well, then start loving yourself because the liberals are figuring it out. You're the ones on everywhere talking about you losing shit. Help us. And Donald Trump talking about you're going to give so many billions of dollars to the farmers and shit like that. Some kind of like bailout. Now, some farmers like, well, we don't want a bailout. Shut up. You're going to take it. Just like you did in 2016, 17, whatever it was, he fucked up everything. You took it. And you're going to say the exact same shit now because you want us to think that you're not on welfare. You're on fucking welfare because you made bad fucking decisions. None of us, when we make bad decisions, get to keep our business and whine and cry and have American citizens give up billions of dollars to keep you going because you made bad decisions. And then turn around and tell everybody else they don't need welfare, they don't need this, they don't need subsidies. And here you are, farmers, fucking everything up because you voted for this dipshit. Not all of you, but a big healthy amount of you voted for this. And you shouldn't be saved for your decisions. Not again. He did it to you last time, and he's doing it to you again. What do people tell you? He's going to do it again. And you did it. You voted for the same dude that put you in hell the last time. The last time you almost lost your farm. He came in with boy, this man came in with like 20-something billion and 40-something. It was like 60-something, 70-something billion this man gave them last time. It was 2 different times he had to do it. They were hurting twice under his presidency. He bailed him out twice. And they put this dipshit back in the office and thought he was going to do better than he did last time. And now he's talking about 21 billion. Farmers, I already done seen a few farmers like that ain't going to be enough. There are farmers who are losing $400,000 a week. I'm like, how? I didn't know no shit like this was going on with farmers. But there are farmers losing money like crazy. Losing their homes. And they said this man's going to try and help them out. And again, how do you classify for this shit? Right? How do you know whether you're going to get it? And it's not coming until, February? People already done lost their farms by then. China started buying back a little bit, I guess, of some of the soybeans, but it's still not nowhere near what it was before, all because of Donald Trump and his tariffs on stupid shit. And here's the thing. Where's that $21 billion coming from? I think it was 21 billion, whatever the billion number he said he's going to give. Where do you think it's coming from? Well, Donald Trump says it's coming from all these other countries that were overcharging us. They're the ones that's paying. We're going to take some of that tariff money and we're going to give it to the farmers. And if you haven't figured it out by now, you need a chin strap, helmet, mouth guard. You are sick. If you haven't figured out just yet that tariffs are the people, American people pay that. So what he just did was take money out of our mouths, money out of your babies and families' mouths by charging you more for products that you buy from stores that get it from overseas. They mark up the price. They take product out of it if it's food. Instead of you getting full 16 ounce, you get like 3 ounces of air and 14 ounces of fucking, or whatever it is, if it's 16, 13 ounces of food. They take it out of you. And you going out getting your food, like, man, $100 just to go further than it used to. Not 6 years ago. Shit, 6 months ago it used to go further than it used to. And Donald Trump's out here trying to tell people, oh, you're doing okay. No, you're not. You know you're not. For those who are doing well, congratulations. For those who are in the thick of it, 60% of Americans are living check by check. No matter where area you live in, meaning like whether you're middle class, if you're near poverty, or even if you got some money, you still may be in more debt than what you ask. You may look like you got something, but let one thing fall apart and you lose everything. And all this shit that Donald Trump's been doing to F up the economy, this man's been collecting. He don't got gold shit left and right. Got a gold trophy and shit from FIFA. Got some kind of gold crown from China, Japan. Got some other gold shit. I'm sitting there like this. Now he's building a ballroom that's all filled with gold. He filled the room where he has these little conferences with all these different leaders. Everything around him, the back, it used to look just like a regular home. It's all gaudy with gold and ivory or whatever it is, white and gold. I'm like, what is this man? Does he think he's some kind of like Prince from back in the day or some shit? What the hell? Who needs all that gold? And he talking about taking snap from people, but spending $300 million on a ballroom where the Cankles can't dance. He could barely walk. He ain't nothing but a good month or two from being strolling in with his ankles like that. Gonna be in a wheelchair in about another 6 months, if not. You're gonna have a ballroom that won't be built till long after this fool's probably dead. They got a setback. Somebody who was talking about building or whatever had a setback of some sort. And he's looking for another designer or some shit. With the one that was already in place, it wouldn't have been done until the presidency was over. So you knew he was trying to be a king because he wanted to stay in it. Who's going to build $300 million for the next president to have fun in? That ain't Donald Trump. Ain't another. He didn't want to leave the last time. Had a coup the last time. Right? You think he's going to leave this time and never be able to come back? All these people, if we succeed to keep a democracy, every last one of them need to go to jail. All the way down to his son. His son is the youngest son. All of them getting into the meme shit and robbing stuff. Every last one of them needs to be investigated and thrown into jail if they've done something illegal. And I have no doubt they've done something illegal. Why? Because Donald Trump is just an illegal figure. 34 felonies. He didn't get those just because people didn't like him. Jury of his peers, just like anybody else. You see a black, Latin, Asian criminal out there doing shit, they got those felonies, they be in jail. Just like this dude should be. He ain't no different than the dudes in jail right now, other than the fact of white privilege keeping him out. But other than that, he is the exact same thing as those criminals. He should be in a cell right now, having 3 square meals. But no, racist white people can't see white people in that type of situation, especially white people in power. So he didn't see a jail cell. This man has been accused of rape, pedophilia, beating women, talking about what Jeffrey Epstein said that Donald Trump wanted to kill one of his wives, throw her down the stairs, just so he can get rid of the baby. It wasn't his wife yet, the girl he was dating, just so that he can get rid of the baby. Talking about abortion, this dude was trying to throw a woman down the stairs. This is what they wanted as president. Fucking insane. All this money this man has wasted of ours, and he hasn't stopped yet. He hasn't stopped yet. Giving these farmers these billions of dollars is our money. Shit that we bought and had to pay tariffs on because the company bought it, paid the tariffs, and raised the cost on us, lowered the amount of food in it, and they're making money hand over fist, and we're sitting here paying it, and next thing you know, here's the thing, he's giving that money away. Who's suing him right now? Is it Costco? Is it Costco suing him? One of these big production houses, big stores, I think it's Costco, suing them right now for the tariffs. So if they win, how are they going to get their tariffs back? And farmers, how are you going to get your money if they sue and be successful and get their money back? Because that money is not really their money. And I guarantee you, the way he's wielding this money, because again, that's tariffs. Donald Trump should not have, again, money that comes into this country is not for Donald Trump to decide where the fuck he's going to put it. The Congress controls the purse. So that money should go to them and they decide where it goes. Donald Trump is deciding. And here it is, Supreme Court is trying to make him a king. Trying to get him so that he doesn't have to abide by the Constitution. They're leaning toward that. We have been telling you guys over and over and over and over again. Stop believing in this fool and start to believe in Project 2025. Go read it if you have not read it. It's damn near almost too late because we told you about this shit years ago. And instead, nope, just sat there and thought that this orange fuck was telling you the truth. And now you're feeling it. You thought it was going to hurt black and brown. Well, he's trying to get them out the country. So if he did get them out of the country, the pain is all yours, racist white people. Just insane. 5 on fire. Don't tease me. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you very much. Thank you for the donation. 5 on fire. So Pete Hegseth just said that he had to review the video, which has already been let out for the first one. Now, here's something that I caught that I didn't see anybody talking about, and you guys can tell me. I was trying to scroll through different channels, and I know Fox wouldn't have covered it, to see if they covered it. They talked about this particular segment of what I'm going to show you, Pete Hegseth on stage, but they did not, to me, look at the nuance of what he was saying. Remember, Pete Hegseth, again, lied that he wasn't in, that he didn't have a second double tap. Then he tried to act like he wasn't in the room. He left in the middle of an operation. He left and went to another meeting. I'm a busy person. I'm busy. I got to go to another meeting. Okay, you got to go to another meeting. Go on to your next meeting. What next? So he said that then he was notified when he came back. He found out that the Admiral Bradley had made a decision, and a good decision, and the right decision, I believe. But it was him. He said it in a tweet. Then later said it, on a mic, in front of a mic. I'm like, okay. This second tape right here, this tape I'm going to show you, listen to what he says, and we'll get into it.
Did you at any time say that everybody on board should be killed?
Is anybody here from the Washington Post? I don't know where you get your sources, but they suck. Of course not. Anybody that's been in the Situation Room or they've been in the war room there, the Secretary's office, no, you don't walk in and say, kill him. It's just patently ridiculous. It's meant to create a cartoon of me and the decisions that we make and how we make them. It's ridiculous. The chairman and Admiral Bradley and everybody shot it down immediately because anybody that knows that's not how things go. There's a very defined process, specific criteria, go, no go, yes, no, lawyers, intel analysts, everything. And then after that, you simply say cleared hot or not.
And
so
did you have a plan to deal with survivors?
There was protocol for dealing with survivors, but in that, and frankly, there was 10 strikes later.
Before we get into that, what he just went through right now was saying that there was there were steps to go to be able to go for this next phase of shooting these people to kill them. And he told you about the whole process, about who you had to go through, that you go through lawyers, that you go through a whole different phase before you basically have the green light to have a go, right? So you're going to tell me they bombed. He had to go to a meeting. He left, right? They needed him there for the first bombing. He was there because they needed him for the go. Did he go? Go. He did. He says to go. He gets up, goes to a meeting of sorts, he says, right? We need to get that meeting information, not necessarily what you talked about, but the time and the schedule in which you went to this meeting and who you spoke to at that particular time. The Congress, the House and Senate should be asking for those particulars. You ain't got to give it to American people, but you do have to justify where the fuck you were when this shit went down. Because you can't just say, I left and went to a meeting without telling what that meeting is. But let's get back to it. He goes to a meeting, supposedly, right? All the combatants, they believe the combatants are not dead, and the boat, somehow, they had 2 or 3 stories. One, the boat was still, at one time, I'm thinking like the boat was still like upright. They was trying to get into it. Then the next time they talk about it, it was turned completely over. And in the water, they're trying to turn over this big ass boat. 2 people going to try and turn over a big boat in the water that's blown to pieces. I'm like, that's weird. Then they start talking about that they had a radio in which they could possibly radio the people back so they could have more combatants, more they call combatants or drug runners or whatever that could come to their aid. So they had to get rid of them. So therefore they had this to get rid of these guys that could call somebody. Later turns out Admiral Bradley says there was no radio. There was none of that. So how is it that we have the best military in the fucking world, we say, and we got at least 3, if not 4 stories and a denial? Never happened. Now there's 4 stories on top of the fucking denial. How did that happen? That says cover up. That says that they're trying to figure out what sounds better. And now everybody wants the tape because they're tired of listening to the lies. And he's got problems with giving you the tape because he's got to look over some shit that he's already looked over for the first shooting, but not the second. I digress. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because you got to go back to the fact that this man said you had to go through these levels. You got to go through these levels before you can shoot again. You're going to tell me that he was there on the first one when they blew it up. It was on fire, as he says. He might have thought in his head, it's done, it's a wrap, I'm gone. They find bodies in the ocean, right? Then they set it in motion, supposedly, right? The phases in which he says it goes, the lawyers and so forth, then they get a go. You're telling me Admiral Bradley made all those decisions himself? Because what you did come out and say is Admiral Bradley made the decision and he was right to make that decision. You didn't say the lawyers made the decision for him and therefore he went and got the okay. You said he made the decision on his own. You didn't say the steps. You said he made it. He made the final decision. But the way you just spoke it on stage, he couldn't have made the final decision. It had to be run up the ladder through the lawyers and so forth, which makes sense, seeing as how it was 41 minutes beforehand. So, if he made those conversations, there's got to be call logs, military, whatever it may be. There's got to be call logs of some sort of whom he contacted from the moment he saw that the body was there. 40-something minutes later, they sat on it. Something was going on in those 40 minutes. Because if those people were a real threat, why are you letting them live for 40 minutes? You were trying to figure out what to do with them. Somebody gave the call to kill them. Somebody. And you guys are saying it's the Admiral, like he had last minute decision, like it was just so frantic. We just decided we had to figure something out and he just made the decision on his own and I congratulate him. That's not how the process goes, Pete, except you just told on stage you got to go through multiple steps and talk to a lawyer. So he had that 40 minutes and you want us to believe that he had your say-so on the first bombing and didn't try to get in touch with you in your meeting to say, sir, we have 2 combatants that's still alive. What say you? He just decided to say, fuck Pete Hegseth and go on his own and go rogue and figure it out himself? Then he didn't need you from the get-go. Why were you there for the bomb in the beginning? The shit don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. How? 41 minutes, and he doesn't call his superior to tell him he's going to bomb again. When it's questionable that he's got to call a lawyer, but he doesn't call his superior. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. That's like telling, anybody at the lowest level of anything. I don't care if you're working at McDonald's. You're not going to make more food for somebody when you know they already ate their food. You're going to check with people. Did you see them? They was over there eating it? Yeah. No, we can't give you any more food. I don't care if it was bad. We gave it to you, ate it. You're going to tell me you didn't even check with the manager. You didn't check with nobody. He didn't check with the manager to make a decision. He just out there just giving away free food because the person said it. No. In this situation, he did not make that decision on his own. You just said it. You guys don't understand it. You got to go through this, before you get a go. And you saying in 41 minutes, he conferred with himself and not you. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. He had to have conferred with you. In 41 minutes, he didn't confer with his superior. He stepped over you and went straight to a lawyer. Well, let's talk to that lawyer. That lawyer gave him an okay, right? These are the problems. These are the questions that I didn't hear anybody asking today. It's too simple. I don't think he made that decision on his own. Now, if it was imminent, like something was like bad was happening and they about to bomb somebody, whatever, that wasn't the case from what people said in the video. Even the Republicans who were like, don't care about killing anybody, they didn't say that it was a threat. They just said he was going to give. They said some of the dumbest shit, though. They were worried about him lifting the truck up and completing the mission. They ain't never even played a game of Halo in their life. They stupid as fuck. I mean, come on. You going to lift some shit up that's blown the fuck up and on fire. And you going to step on an on fire vessel with gasoline and everything done already been hit. And what you going to do? Roll with your limbs all the way, deliver what's left of what could be possibly on the boat. I'm going to tell you something. Drugs on the boat. Think about this for a second. You just got blown the fuck up and didn't even know why. Do you really think I'm going back to the vessel? Only reason I'm going there is because I'm afraid I'm going to die if I can't swim that well. Got to get to something I can float on. But if that bitch just got blown the fuck up, maybe it's the boat they want. I'm going to go back on it and get blown up again. I mean, logic is not logicking. Fear is in their mind, not delivering more drugs. Do they understand that the people who deliver the drugs are just hired guns? The people who actually buy and sell them are the ones that you need to get and unalive, because those are the ones running it, not the low-level employee. Jesus Christ. It's insane. I don't understand why we don't have an investigation already. We just question this shit like, no, there should be an investigation. We're not at war, ladies and gentlemen. There is no claimed war. This is it. This tantamount of, remember back where Democrats got mad. Some Republicans used it against Democrats and shit like that. Some Democrats who left the plantation of Democrats and went over to the massa in the Republican Party. They always say some shit about, that you're in a party that has you on this plantation. And I'm like, how are we on the plantation? You guys are going with a crew that literally has no rules, will unalive you. They can literally say right now, the way they're doing things, we don't like trans people. We're going to put them in one place and blow them up because they're terrorists to the country. They ain't got to prove it. They don't have to prove it because they have not proved that these people are terrorists. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are not at war. There is no war. They made that shit up so they can go kill Venezuelans. Now, what is the game plan for Venezuela? Are they trying to take the oil because they're rich in oil? Or are they trying to dethrone the leader of Venezuela so that Donald Trump can purchase a country? I mean, I don't know. He tried to get Greenland. I'm trying to figure it out. What are they doing? I'm sure Project 2025, that second book that we didn't get to see, it has it in there. They have a plan, and the idea that they have got a plan that they haven't told the American people, and they're attacking a country that they haven't asked Congress or the Senate or any other organization that they're equal to, whether it be judicial, that they could do something like this, having a facetious reason to go out, try to get you worried about drugs. Bitch, those drugs are so far away, they ain't gonna do shit to us. And the boats are so small, they would never make it to America. So how are you saving us from something? I mean, the best thing you could say is that you partner with neighboring countries to eliminate the drug trade for the neighboring countries, our allies or so, or something like that. That right there may work if we had a task force with other countries to stop it. But we don't. These countries are like, what the fuck is America doing? Venezuela's setting up to have a war. They don't know what these fools are trying to do. There has been not one demand that's public that we've known that they're asking for. America is just over there playing kill games. They're killing people for play. There is no reason. We have this fool let out. Maduro, is it? Not Maduro. The kingpin. People saying 400. I read it 500. So whatever. It's 400 to 500 tons of cocaine this man has trafficked in this country. Brought it into this country. Convicted, sent to jail for 40 years, and Donald Trump let go of the biggest kingpin sending cocaine in this country. Let him go. How are you trying to stop drugs from coming into America by letting the guy who brought in tonnage, and then you're going to kill people on these little ass boats that ain't nowhere near America? This shit don't make sense. Not an ounce of it makes sense. And we're just sitting here just like, oh, okay. They're doing their thing. News is like, oh, they're doing it. It's illegal, right? It's illegal. Yeah, but what are we doing about it, though? No lawsuits? What are we doing about it? The Supreme Court's about to give this man kingship. Telling him he can do anything that the Constitution did not want. They're trying to give it to him. There should be impeachment of these Supreme Court justices. Not the fact that they don't lean Democrat or Republican. They don't lean American. They don't lean Constitution. They don't lean democracy. You could put more Republicans in it in their place, but the ones who are against democracy, they got to go. They got to go. MAGA has got to go. These MAGA Republicans in the House, in the Senate, in the Supreme Court, and the presidency, they got to go. They are not America. They are literally hobnobbing with every terrorist country. They literally had a terrorist come sit down next to the president, kill Khashoggi. They let him just come into the White. Putin driving around in the beast. Never in the history of America have we had our enemy in our vehicles, stepping on our soil. I don't understand. I want you guys to understand something. This wouldn't happen with a Latin person. This wouldn't happen with an Asian person. This wouldn't happen with a Muslim person. This wouldn't happen with like a true Christian, to be honest, because these people ain't Christian. This wouldn't happen with none of that. It's only a white male. That's the only person who could be doing what they're doing. And they're taking pride in it. Because what? Other white people ain't doing shit. Just sitting there watching another white person do that. If that was Obama, there would be people out with effigies trying to say they're going to hang him. They're going to do whatever they can. People go fucking nuts. But because it's a white man, this shit is just like we just talking about it. There ain't no actual remedy or plan or strategy or plot. It's just like, I hope we can survive until we get till whenever his presidency's over. Or maybe he'll just luckily pass out and hit his head and the God or the devil will take him. But if it was a person of color, we would try to throw him in jail. We would already have him impeached. We'd already have him thrown out the White House. Why in the hell is he still there? Because he's white. You don't believe in white privilege? Look at Donald Trump. Take it back. Orange privilege? Look at Donald Trump. There's no way in the hell a woman wouldn't be able to get a hold of that. White, black, Latin, I don't give a fuck what you are. You wouldn't be able to do that shit. That tells you right there there's something fucking wrong with this country. It says all men and humans are created equal, that we are, none of us are above the law. Donald Trump is above the law. And I think too many white people accept and look at that and say, look at that privilege. I love it. And that's what they love about it. They hate people, but they love the fact that if he can get away with that, I look just like him. I can get away with something just like that in my town. That's what they call supremacy. Being able to do what the hell they can do without any kind of repercussions for what they do. Some of them go to jail, but most of them get the fuck away. Donald Trump is proof. 34 felonies. And these white people didn't see a criminal white dude in a bad light. They saw a black woman who was a prosecutor, who was law and order. Everything they say they believe in, and other than the fact that she was black and Indian, everything else, this woman fits the bill. She followed the law, family woman, all that. None of their values mattered when blackness was there. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? And they still, it's going to get worse because nobody's heat checking. Nobody's stopping it. You see people and pundits just on radio and television just talking about it. Nobody's acting on it. Therefore, nothing happens. There needs to be another protest. Where the hell's the next protest coming up? They need to stop having these things every once in a blue moon. These bitches should be going on like every weekend. But Pete Hegseth just told you. He knew. He was probably there. And I have no doubt he said, kill them all. I think the admiral's lying. These are my only beliefs. Reason why I think he's lying, because he's left Pete Hegseth out of it. And there's no way he would have made that decision without talking to Pete Hegseth, the lawyers, and everything that this man said. You guys don't know the protocol. Here's the protocol. Trying to be a little smart ass Pete Hegseth was just now. You guys don't know anything. I'm in the military. I tell you how it goes. And he just talked himself into fucking himself over. He just said he would have had to have known because it goes through a chain before you get to go. He's a part of that fucking chain. He's the top of the chain. You gonna tell me the top of the chain didn't know? The fuck out of here. The fuck believes that shit? What other meeting was more important than killing people for fucking fun? They get a kick out of this shit. He talking about reviewing something.
Here, there was a semi-submersible that I think folks here, meaning a submarine. You don't go fishing on a submarine full of drugs. And in that particular case, the first strike didn't take it out. A couple guys jumped off and swam, from what I understand, a ways away. When we struck the submarine a second time, it sunk. And then you had two people that you had to go get. And we had the ability to go get them. We gave them back to their host countries. That's a story that's already been out in the public.
Okay, here's my problem with that. Every time they try to throw up a story to protect themselves, it exposes them. The thing is, again, people are blind to something. I call it white privilege. They're blind to something. Because he just said, we blew up a submarine. 2 people escaped from it. And then we blew up the submarine again. And we went and got these 2 people, put them on something and repatriated them to their own country. Excuse me. They just had drugs that you said they was coming to America. You just set them free? You just set them free. Just gave them to their host country. And what was the host country going to do with them? Arrest them for shit they had no evidence? You blew up the evidence. It was your word against theirs. You think they're in jail or at home right now? I mean, they just going to believe your word. Oh, yeah, this is one of your guys, Venezuelan. This is one of your Venezuelan guys. Yeah, we just out in the ocean. We blew up the submarine that he was in. Who just has a submarine? I mean, they just had a spare submarine in this bitch. I mean, who has a submarine? So they blew up this vessel and just handed them over. Didn't arrest them for drug trafficking. You can't get them off the street if you don't ask them, like, where is the main location? And then you go blow up that place. So they can't make drugs anymore, at least for another year or two. If that's what you're talking about, if you're really trying to get rid of drugs, it makes no sense. This is literally the Three Stooges military. I mean, none of this shit is logical. I really worry right now, Putin, if he wanted to bomb us, we ain't got no help. We got no help. We got too many stupid people running this shit. And the ones who do know what they're doing are listening to the stupid people. They got to get the orders from the stupid people. I don't know. I don't feel safe with these people in office. I just don't. They're making dumb decisions, and then they're leaving America out. But you notice Donald Trump is always talking about America get more money, more money, more money, money. And all he's thinking about is making money off of killing people and stealing their shit, off of killing people and trying to take over their oil. I mean, what kind of country are we? I thought we was dealing with America. I thought we was trying to make America greater. This fool, make America great again. What the fuck is he doing? He's on a conquering tour? Is he trying to colonize again? I don't know what the fuck he thinks of great again means. And I bet you MAGA don't know what it means now. Because he ain't did shit to make their life better. Not a thing. Affordability, this dude thinks it's a hoax made up by the Democrats. And it was so crazy. When he was on his campaign, he said, I'm going to make life more affordable for you. Affordable and affordability is the same thing, bro. So was it a hoax when you said it? I'm pretty sure it was. That's why he always gets mad at shit. He's like, that was a hoax. Why do you think it's a hoax? Because when I said it was a hoax. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Pete Hegseth. Now they were talking about Donald Trump has been out there, and his minions went out on the Sunday morning shows rather. And they were talking about, like I said, Scott Bessent was talking about that somehow our country's doing better economically, but this dude don't understand. And just like they said, Biden didn't understand. The inflation is going up. Prices are going up. The people who are making good money right now, having a great life right now, are the multimillionaires and billionaires. Life is just wonderful for them. And that's all they see it through is that prism. They have no idea. They've been rich so long that they literally think when you make my life better, you're making their lives better too. You really not. When you make rich people's lives better, middle class, poor, life goes down because they don't invest it. They don't come back and give to the community. They take it and go overseas and store it, buy islands in other places. And we're the ones ass out trying to pay the debt down by taxes while they don't pay their fair share. They've done all this shit to the American people because they don't want to pay their fair share. They're bombing fucking Venezuela. They threw on tariffs like crazy. They fired people, 1 million jobs, whatever, in the government with Doge. All of this turmoil was so that rich people can get more money. They're already rich, yo. And they're tearing people's lives apart. The poor have gotten poorer. The middle class have gotten poorer. The people who, before Donald Trump came in, 60% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. I have no doubt that that's higher now with Donald Trump in. I have no doubt that's skyrocketed. That was a stat that was a year before Donald Trump came into office. I have no doubt that percentage has gone up. It's insane. Donald Trump had is one of the most corrupt presidents ever. Ever. I mean, he's taken a $400 million plane, which cost $1 billion to retrofit. Where do you think that $1 billion came from? $1 billion to retrofit a plane, to fix it so that you make sure it doesn't have bugs in it, no kind of anything that, to make it like high grade. $1 billion. They could have built another plane for less than $1 billion. And didn't have to worry about debugging it because they built it from scratch. This dude got a used plane for free and decided to put $1 billion of our money into it. This shit don't piss you off. I don't know what does. MAGA, how does it not piss you off that you're sitting here living paycheck to paycheck and this man is taking your tax money instead of giving it back to you so that you can survive? This man is retrofitting a plane that was given to him. Well, he went on a world tour to just gather riches. None of that shit, if you didn't pay attention, none of the shit he did benefits America. It benefits him. He went around the world to get shit that benefits him and not the American citizen. This is insane. He's messed with something that we didn't used to be able to mess with. I remember years and years ago when I got into the entertainment industry, we always knew about, quid pro quo. You couldn't take gifts from anybody more than like $10 or some shit, $50 at one point. It kind of increased, right? And it couldn't be like anything that it couldn't be just cash. It had to be a product or something, and like food. But in some cases, I mean, again, it was something that was like frowned upon. You could take these small gifts, but you couldn't promise anything in these industries. And I know it was stricter in other industries. Donald Trump took a $400 million plane. Do you really think the people who gave him that $400 million plane, if they wanted something, Donald Trump wouldn't jump and say how high? Of course he would. Wouldn't think nothing of it. Quid pro quo. He's been in on companies buying other companies. The the CBS merger. He was in on that with the Paramount and all that. Yeah. Gave them his blessing. And you know what's so weird is that he's connected to them because he helped them buy, merge with CBS and all these places. So he's connected with the guy and the family that owns that now, right? Very connected because he's the one, he was in on that connection. But now it's like Paramount is up, I guess, not up for sale. They just got them buying that. But Paramount is trying to buy something, and as well as Netflix. Netflix trying to buy, I think it's Warner Brothers, I believe, or something like that, right? So you got Netflix wanting to buy it and Paramount wanting to buy it. Netflix has offered $27 or something like that dollars per share, and it's like crazy billions, like 72 billion or something like that. Paramount, CBS, and all that, they're trying to purchase it. They came in with a higher bid. It was just a last second thing. It was going through, ready to go through, I guess, and this hostile like trying to take over. They just merged. And got Paramount and all that stuff like that. This year. This is the one that Donald Trump merged and said okay with. They're trying to buy another studio. I believe it's Warner Brothers. And Netflix is trying to buy it. Was already in deals with it. And this is what Donald Trump said. And I want you to remember Donald Trump's old lawyer, the one that went to jail that he turned on. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. But I want you to remember that old lawyer that said that Donald Trump spoke like a mob boss. He wouldn't tell you what he wanted. He would just say something that made you understand that he wants something. And you get the point. This right here is an example of that. Michael something. Michael, I can't remember his last name right now. But Donald Trump's ex-lawyer. You got to listen to what Donald Trump is saying, and you'll totally understand what his ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen. Somebody put it up. Thank you, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen. When he said that, pay attention to what Donald Trump says right here, and you'll listen to the nuance. You don't. It doesn't sound like it. Just sounds like he's just saying this, just saying what he says. But when you dig into it, you kind of know what it means. Listen to this. Thank you so much, guys, for the Michael Cohen.
Concerns about them.
I know the companies very well. I know what they're doing, but I have to see what percentage of market they have. We have to see the Netflix percentage of market, Paramount, the percentage of market. I mean, none of them are particularly great friends of mine. You know, I want to do what's right.
Donald Trump just okayed the deal between like CBS or to buy CBS and Paramount and all stuff like that. He just okayed that deal. So Donald Trump is tight with them because he just okayed it. And you know they had to kiss his ass to do so. Right? He's stringing them along for a while. But you've been friends with him now for a minute. Right? Or at least business associates. And now there's more stuff up for sale. And Donald Trump, just like a mob boss, says they're not particularly friendly with me. They're not my friends per se. That little, they're not my friends, literally means which one of you guys are going to be my friend. And when I mean my friend, I mean which one of you going to offer me something. I know y'all want to buy stuff, but I'm only going to help out my friends, and my friends get paid. My friends get power. If you want to be friendly with me, hit me up. Don't want to be my friend, then the other guy wins. Now look to find Donald Trump to either have one of these owners at the White House, if not both, on different occasions, to be pitching him that they'll give him 10% of the company or 3% of the company, whatever percentage of the company or money, if he's allowed to let this go through for them. The deal now is, how much can I give Donald Trump? He already went through this already. Remember, he got like 10% of somebody's company. Some percentage of somebody's company for helping him out. Watch. That is the next step. The most corrupt president in America to ever have. Most corrupt. All right. Did you guys hear today that the cases they wanted for Letitia James Comer about mortgage, I guess fraud or whatever, James Comer, and who else? The senator from Adam, I think, somebody from California here. He's a senator now. Wasn't in the House, but anyway, that Donald Trump has the same type of loans. He bought 2 homes or something of that nature and said both of them was his primary home to get that markdown or whatever it was. I guess you get money and shit for saying that. And supposedly Letitia James was somewhere around the area of 18,000. Yeah. In Palm Beach, Florida, he bought 2 places and said they both was his primary home. It's a damn shame. See what they do with that. Let's see what they do with that. Other thing is, did you guys, I got a chance to see it later. I didn't see it live. The interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes. Leslie Stahl. Yeah. It's crazy. one thing that I saw in that interview is that Margie hasn't changed from her views. Margie's like I don't know what you call it, a roach maybe. You can't kill it. You do everything you can, but you can't get rid of it. Or maybe it's something else that goes and then comes back and transforms into something else. I don't know. But this is the woman who was chasing down students who were in school shootings and telling them that they made it up and to prove it, and harassing them. When there was fires started in a certain area, she said that there was Jewish space lasers that was being shot from satellites and hitting certain spots and setting places on fire and shit. This is a woman that has a lot of smoke for Jewish people for some reason. She hasn't changed those views at all. This is a woman that's combative. She fights for what's hers, don't get me wrong. And that could be cool and fine, but she also fights for lies, and that's the fucked up part. Leslie Stahl, after MTG had said something to the effect of, I'm no longer, I don't have anything to do with this vitriol and stuff like that, this, animosity that they have within the party. I had to get out, blah, blah, blah. And she said, you were a major part of that. You used to say stuff and, said all these things that the Biden, while he was at the inauguration, when he was speaking in front of everybody, in front of the House and the Senate, State of the Union. And then she's like, you're bad too, to Leslie Stahl. What did I do? She just could not take being held responsible for her own actions, that she had to literally jump out. So she wanted her interview to be, just praise me for doing good now. But Leslie Stahl held her to account and said, you're doing this, but you do understand that you were a major part of the problem. And then she got offended and started saying, so are you. Okay, so projection, when you can't take responsibility for your own actions. So you're still MAGA, but MAGA shat on you. And so you have this jilted feeling. And now she's a part of, what is that? America First. Now, I don't know what the new America First, but there's America First, not necessarily, I guess, party, but movement that started in the 1940s. Now, I don't know if they have an individual program going on, but whatever. She's saying it like it's her policy now. Now, I done seen some people that are MAGA, women specifically, that have taken off their red hat and put on a blue hat that says America First. I don't know whether they're starting the band back up. I don't know what's going on. But that's what she did. In this interview, you'll see what she had to say. If I can get it going here. Let's go. Is it going to pop up?
MAGA is President Trump's phrase. That's his political policies. I call myself America First.
But you're not saying you're MAGA.
I'm America First. MAGA.
I'm America First. So she's no longer MAGA, she's saying. It's not the same MAGA ideals. I think what she's trying to do is take over Donald Trump's crew. And there are already some people who are disenfranchised from Donald Trump. He's continuing down this path of, economics is affordability is a hoax, and they know it's not a hoax. So one of his biggest things, because he see that everything's falling around him and starting to fail, he's trying to give away some of the money that he's been stealing from the American citizens, because we don't know where this trillions and trillions of dollars he says he's been saving. Then why don't you start paying down the debt? He hasn't paid down any debt, and we don't even know where this money is at. Where is it being housed at? The House, the Senate, Democrats, Independents, Republicans. Where's this money? He said he saved his money. Where is it? Where is it being stored, and who has access to it? it seems like Donald Trump's the only one who has access to all this money. Who has access to it? He's declaring to give money for aid without going to the House to vote on it and how much they're going to give. He's already determined how much he's willing to give. And I'm like, is this your own money? Because you didn't go through our Constitution the way we have things set up in America. It goes through the House, it passes, right? They hold the purse. And somehow you got the purse. That doesn't make any sense. That's not a democracy. And why aren't Republicans screaming at the top? Republicans, Democrats screaming at the top of your lungs and going out on tours and shit, talking to people? Because right now, when you had the commercial for telling the military men and women that they should not follow and must not follow an unlawful order from anybody in the military, right? It was implied as the president, but anybody. Don't break any laws. All right? Then why can't you go around telling everybody about what Donald Trump is doing? Like, where is your money? This is your money, people. American people, we're sent here to help you with your money that you send in. Donald Trump is playing with your money. Where is your money? Donald Trump has all your money and he's not giving it to you. He's buying a bunch of gold shit. He's traveling all over the world. He's buying $72 million jets for just mere employees who don't need them. They're getting 2 jets for one person. That makes no sense. We're paying for what's his name? Not Bongino. I'm pretty sure he fly on a jet too, but Cockeyed Cash Patel. You're paying for him and his girlfriend's friend take her home because she's drunk. No Uber. This woman she doesn't have a detail, but he's got people who are on our clock, our cash, driving her home because she's drunk, and then got his girlfriend, not wife, girlfriend, having her own little detail and having the people watching over her have to take orders from her. This 20-something-year-old young girl is out here using up our money because she laying in the bed with Cockeyed Cash Patel. This simp. It's insane. If it was his wife, we still have somewhat of an issue. But taking your money, these Democrats need to be making these same commercials talking about where's your money at. Donald Trump said you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get a $5,000 check. Where your money at? Donald Trump has promised you guys things and haven't given them. You should be making these commercials and airing them in Republican after Fox and everything else. Where is your money? You should be going and asking Republicans who aren't getting any money, who's still waiting on their tax dollars and stuff, not tax dollars, even these farmers who are waiting in these tariffs. You should have been in businesses and saying, how much have you had to pay in tariffs this year? How much money are you out? And do you have to raise prices for it? You guys have laid dormant with that shit. You have not went out and did that. You've sat in your studios. You went to the White House. You go out on the street and you don't ask any of these fucking questions that Americans need to know. Not a one. And you're not campaigning, not necessarily for your position, but for the American people, fighting for us and saying, hey, this man said he's going to do this. Where is it? Where's his promises? Broken promises. Just like his brain, broken. Where is the Lincoln, what's that called, that group? I forgot the name of it. But the Lincoln Pact that they had, where they would just light into Donald Trump left and right. I ain't seen one of those videos in a while. And I know they ain't running for office, but that doesn't matter. This man's trying to turn us into a dictatorship. You should be running those ads left and right. Lincoln Project or something like that. They should be going in on Trump right now. cankles. They should be going in and not remembering that he told one reporter just a day or two ago that he was going to release. He said, yeah, we should be able to release. I have no problem. We should be able to release the video of the second bombing. Yeah, we should be able to release that. Yeah, we get that. And then a day or two later, I never said that. You said that. Where are you from? ABC? ABC, trash news. They're trash because you lied to another reporter and didn't remember it with your old feeble ass brain. If Biden had done that, they'd be like, I got to get him out. This man can't even remember some shit he said 2 days ago. Blaming somebody else and calling them stupid when his dumb ass didn't remember. Yeah, Doge has been closed down. Yes, definitely. But they didn't accomplish any of the goals they said it was going to accomplish, other than the fact of getting rid of, a lot of jobs and a million or so jobs, I guess, and close down things and shut down a lot of programs that help American citizens but hurt billionaires. Not even hurt them, but just keep them responsible, regulate them. And without them, it hurts American citizens, and they just let go of it. Fuck with our educational system, all that. The only black guy in their cabinet, I think he's over a hood or some shit like that. He fucking up shit. It's like there's no winning. We're just losing. I'm like, where's the winning at? Where's the winning at? Because I don't see it. Yeah, Costco is suing them, Deborah. Yeah, Costco. That's what I thought. But But what if they win? Here's the thing: if they win, it's gonna set off an avalanche of people saying, "Give me my money back." Target's gonna do it. All of them gonna do it. If Costco gets whatever money they put in, let's say they put in $20 million. Let's just say that they don't put in $20 million in this year, whatever, with tariffs. You best believe all these other big places are gonna be like, wait a minute, Food for Less is gonna be like, yeah. We'll come off that 35 million. Oh, come on. Then when he has to pay everybody back, the money he promised to the farmers, where that shit coming from? Because that's the money that he's talking about using, which should be earmarked that the House determines where it goes, not Donald Trump. This country is tripping, yo. I don't know what they're doing, but these are drastic measures. I mean, if there's a clause in the Constitution anywhere that you can arrest the president, then y'all need to get to figuring that shit out. Because this shit is highly illegal. I know he's got some kind of immunity, but I think that immunity is for him breaking laws, like, for him doing something for the country but breaking the law. I don't think it's just like he can just go around and just shoot anybody and he's immune. I don't think that's what they necessarily meant, but there's constitutional lawyers out there that know better than me. I put that task to you. If you watch this at all, I will be looking for some myself to find out. So, it's wrong. I see what, Mike. Another thing, in her interview, she had, and I think this might be next to the last thing that I gotta say. I got like two more things to say about before I close this show out. One is Marjorie Taylor Greene in this interview. If you got a chance to see it, we cycle back to what we should be talking about every show is the Epstein files. And Leslie Stahl asked her about the Epstein files and mentioned Donald Trump in the mix and what happened because she was for it and Donald Trump was not. Listen to what Donald Trump told her, and this is her kind of like shielded version. There's more for her to say, I know, but she kind of shields it. But let Donald Trump keep on trying to, threaten her and her son, getting all these death threats and shit like that. And they got some kind of pipe bomb at their house already for some shit. Let that continue. And she gonna let the cat out of the bag on this dude. You can tell just the way this interview's going. She's holding it back. Her thing, I believe, is like a heat check to Donald Trump. It's like, you know what you said to me. I'm just summarizing this shit. Keep it up. This is gonna be a heat check. Fuck with my family, it's a must. I fuck with you. That to me tells me that's the type of person she is. She to me, I would think just by the way she acts, she's that type of girlfriend that if she got mad, you need to go sleep somewhere else. You can't sleep in the house. Not because she kicked you out, because you can't trust what she's gonna do when you close your eyes. That's the type of person that she kind of makes me believe she is. And she would do anything. You wake up with all your nails taken out. I mean, just some crazy shit. I just think that's her mentality. Cause if she can believe in Jewish space lasers, bro, there ain't nothing that this woman won't do. And probably won't even remember the next day. How'd your nails come out? Like, Trick, you did it. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that I look at. I look at what's her name? Catherine Bates. That's what I kind of think of when I think of this woman. But this is what she had to say about Donald Trump and Epstein files.
We did talk about the Epstein files, and he was extremely angry at me that I had signed the discharge petition to release the files. I fully believe that those women deserve everything they're asking. They're asking for all of it to come out. They deserve it. And he was furious with me.
What did he say?
He said that it was going to hurt people.
By people, he meant him. Everybody knows that Donald Trump doesn't care about nobody but himself. She was his ardent supporter. This woman would have drank his bathwater. I would not doubt she would have separated the dump and drank the juice. I have no doubt that she would have done something like that for Donald Trump. That's the way it appeared. She broke every rule. She broke every kind of on the House floor. It's not just a rule, it's a law. You're not supposed to wear, just like street clothes and shit like that. She wore that Elmer Fudd Donald Trump hat. It was always designed something new. What Trump says is always right. And something. In a house where she's supposed to be dressed in professional attire every time she steps near that floor. Every time she was highly disrespectful. Breaking rules, and not only rules, laws. It's just insane. And this woman is saying that Donald Trump, his most ardent supporter, was irate at her for signing that because some people are going to get hurt. I think she said somebody's going to get hurt. And Donald Trump cares nothing about anybody but himself, and he's talking about himself. What else do you think that they spent? Now, they said it was like $1 or $2 million, something like that, dollars that it cost for, and I'm trying to figure out, how much are these FBI agents getting paid, yo? I mean, even if it was just $1 million, how many days? They said it was 24 hours. And you guys look through those files in 24-hour days. I don't know how many days you did it for 24 hours. That's crazy. Around the clock type of shit. To get Donald Trump's name, X'd out of the documents. His name must have been in there a shit ton of times. For it to cost $1 million or $2 million to X his name out. Donald Trump is so thick in these files, yo. There's no way he isn't. Why would you spend all that money and time to be Xing your name out? It makes no sense. So he was irate with her, his most ardent supporter. And you remember, he pulled the other people that was going to support it. He pulled them to the side and said, like Nancy Grace, was it? Or the other one, Bulber. And I think it was Bulber he brought to the room. And I know he brought her. I think he brought the other ones too. Brought her to the room right before she was going to decide to vote or whatever the hell, to try to get her to stop. And then Pam Bondi was in the room. And cockeyed Kash Patel was in the room, trying their best to get her to say no. And these are the people, at least cockeyed Kash Patel and Bongino, were the biggest against all of this shit. They wanted whoever was in the Epstein files outed because they thought it was Bill Clinton and every Democrat they can think of. When they find out it's their boy in there a shit ton of times and they're on the wrong team, instead of standing up for the right thing, they roll with the wrong. And I pray that the Democrats get into office, find out that they covered that shit up, and send their asses to jail. They do their podcast in a cell. Because they deserve to be in jail if they try to cover up men who raped young girls and children and tried to cover it up after all that smoke they gave about we need to find them. Now they know more Republicans are in it than they thought. We'll see. They're supposed to come out, I think, the 19th of this month. We got 11 days. Yeah, 11 days. We'll see. But you know they're going to figure out something. Because if Donald Trump was going all irate with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was his right hand, you know, whatever she claims this week, muscle woman, whatever, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body woman. He did that to her. Said she was a traitor and that she, his joke is tired too. He got a long ass joke. You know his brain's fucked up. His man's like Marjorie Taylor Brown. And then it puts in when green gets bad or something turns to brown. I'm like, if you gotta explain a joke, it sucks already. Your people don't read and you're gonna try to decipher your shit. Nah, you got the wrong crew, bro. Your crew barely breathes. Reading is not their thing. It's not fundamental for them. But yeah, this man, mad that she supported it. I hope just like when they had with Reagan, they have audio of things that happen. Man, I hope in history we get the audio or some video sometime in future. Just praying to see these simps at work. I can only imagine behind the scenes. Cockeyed Kash Patel kissing Donald Trump's ass, crying out of that one eye. You know what I'm saying? Dan Bongino turning red and getting upset, crying at his desk, being punked like the little bitches they are. Just crying and shit because they ain't getting their way. He already had a fit. I don't see my wife that much, but you know, it's for the people. I used to have a podcast and I'll get back to it, but now I'm doing the people's work. I got to tell the truth. That was Bongino. Literally said he got to tell the truth because he's doing the people's work. But when he gets on stage as a podcaster, he just tells what the people want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth, so he lies. Wow. Anyway. Like a pistol. Like, yeah. So the only thing I kind of like leave you with on this whole tip is this. One thing I believe of this separation of the MAGA party somewhat, because I've been seeing, I don't know if you've been seeing on your timelines, young white women that are conservative, not a lot, I ain't saying all of them, I don't know what percentage, I've just seen at least, I think 20 videos myself of saying they're taking off the MAGA hat and putting on this America First hat because Donald Trump has lost his way. I don't see men and women basically say, well, Republicans say fuck Donald Trump because he's lost his way. He's not doing America first. He's doing other countries first and all stuff like that. I've been seeing more and more of those videos. Now, I don't know where these MAGA people are going to go, but what I've noticed is, and I don't know what America First is just yet. It's just a phrase and a group that was in the 1940s. I don't know what it was conservative then. I don't know what it is now. But if it so happens to be, they have the hats on that they want their new quote unquote savior to be the orange guy's, furry little pet, Marjorie Taylor Greene or ex-pet. that's going to be a MAGA. There's going to be another MAGA that's going to break off into this America First thing, right? And then you already got an extreme MAGA that broke off of MAGA, and you got that with Nick Fuentes, the Goipers or something like that. Those are just out and out outlandish, racist, and evil people. And that's a faction of the MAGAs that have broke away from Donald Trump, and even Nick Fuentes went off on Donald Trump, calling him all kind of freaking names. So what we're looking for in the future is not a Republican Party that cares about, the people and all the people. They're starting subgroups of the same MAGA mentality, but MAGA light, and MAGA extreme with the Goipers. So, but they don't call themselves MAGA anymore. So now we got 3 separate groups of just strange people. And I don't know what's going to become of it. I just want you to be aware of it. Goipers, America First, and MAGA. Democrats, we have to bond. Regular Americans who just want democracy, we're going to have to bond. But we're going to have to be aware of these 3 groups. Because trust me, there is some millionaire, some billionaire that's willing to give them money to start effing with this party, this country again. I have no doubt that she already aligns with Elon Musk and his ideals about this country and everything of that nature. If Elon Musk and Donald Trump don't get back together and be boys, he's going to end up giving her money, and they're going to be homies. And they're going to start working on this new party that Elon Musk wanted to start. But now he's got a juggernaut that raises more money than any of these Republicans by herself outside of Donald Trump. She's like second. Donald Trump's first. She's second in raising money in the Democrat Party. I didn't know that shit. I found that shit out last year, but I was like, damn, is she really? So she's a juggernaut in that sense. And she doesn't take PAC money, APAC money. And she's raising more than them. So something's up. I would not doubt Elon Musk and all these others who believe in that right-wing BS and that Heil Hitler shit that Elon Musk did, that even the Jewish organization said, oh, it was just an awkward move. Awkward move my ass. He did it twice. They didn't even come to support their own people. And that was the worst of the worst in their history. That was the gigantic, ginormous torture and just historic like evilness that it crept upon their doorsteps, and they let that slightly disabled Elon Musk, I don't know what he has, ADHD, whatever the hell he's got. They let him just disrespect them and throw up the Heil Hitler sign in front of millions of people, and then turn around and look at the black people and did the same thing again. And they said, oh, it's just an odd move, and then moved on from it. You would think your ancestors would be screaming, or at least trying to shadow box your ass. Uppercut. It was trying. How the hell would you let that happen? Let it float. But they did. They did. I made a big stink about it. I didn't see any Jewish organization make a big stink about it. They let it float. If we don't stick together, we're going to be fucked up alone. Put you that way. Because those people, a smaller group, anything it proves, ladies and gentlemen, it proves that a small amount of people united can beat a large amount of people divided. We are divided in a large number. And so when you look at a large number divided, just know you can lose. Not every once in a while, every time, until you unite around something. Good people, we got to unite around democracy. If not, the minority is going to win and do the shit they're doing to our country right now that it appears we have no answer to. I'm just saying. That's how it is. You know how to support the show. Much love to you guys. I appreciate you tonight. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for my members. I appreciate you. Love you. We do this to stay factual, help out. Thank you for the donations. Member for 11 months, Benny Loco. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, when we stop them, I'm past ready. Yeah, right, Benny Loco. Well, we need to talk about what we can do. What we can do. I mean, I'm developing solutions in my other show that we can start like getting behind. But if other people have other solutions as well, that's another thing. Is coming on Avid Solutions is going to be all about everybody providing solutions to the problems that we face. But first, we got to talk about the problem. Then I'm going to have like, you know, individual one-on-ones if people want to do it, to be able to help solve individual problems. That doesn't have to be group, but then we also have group. I'm just into that thing, man. I love getting into a group of great-minded, wonderful people and trying to solve issues and problems. So you'll be bringing your problem. And if you ever heard of a mastermind, we will have one of those with Avid Solutions where we just come together and whatever you're doing with personally, business, spiritually, whatever it is, we're just going to get in a group and just chat it out. One person tells you what issues they may have. Everybody else love on them. We can create multiple groups, 4 or 5 people. It's usually odd number, so 5 people. We can have multiple rooms. I can dip in and dip out. We can all start helping each other little by little. And then we can come up with plans and stuff like that for bigger things. It's time to start working on actual solutions and strategies and not just talking about it. But Avid Solutions should start, beginning of next year. I'm not all the way done. I'm about 85-90% done with it. I'm doing a lot of integration and building sites and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing that. And I can't wait for that at the beginning of the year to just have just that positive energy and actually moving forward instead of just talking about what's going on. The things that piss us off, we got to figure out solutions. And those solutions may be to come up with solutions and as a force, contact our representatives and say, this is what we have, this is what we need, let's work toward that type of thing. When we're unified, we can get stuff done. So we'll be talking about it, get more clarity with it in the coming year. All right. So you got a few solutions? Oh, that's awesome, Benny Loco. Don't forget them. When we start that, we're going to be dealing with solutions. You can follow me on TikTok, Avid Solutionist, YouTube, Avid Solutionist as well. I don't have any videos up, but you may be able to still find me. I'm still building the site, but you may be able to still find me at Avid Solutionist on YouTube. So it's like youtube.com / the ampersand at Avid Solutionist. It should show up. If not, maybe it's not completely done just yet, but my site doesn't have any videos yet. But once we do, I'm developing the platform in which, it's going to have some fun with it and have a few segments. It's going to be more structured than this show. This show is going off the top of the dome and dealing with bullet points of the day. That one's going to be more, structured and written. And then at the end, some more playtime to actually just chat and then set up meetings to talk to each other on a weekend or something like that, or whatever day we may have available on my schedule. And we'll do it that way, helping each other out. It's a we thing, not a me thing. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night tonight. Y'all be safe. Much love. I'll see you when I see you.